Hello, everyone. Welcome to Marika J podcast of Come Get Checked. And today we will be talking about value and your self-worth. I want to know why we don't value ourselves enough when it comes to relationships. Why is it that we allow people to mishandle what we carry? Why do we allow people to mishandle our heart? Why do we continue to take abuse when we don't have to? Why don't we know the value that we possess? Why don't we appreciate who we really are? Or is it that we don't know who we really are? So we allow people to mishandle us, and that we allow people to dishonor and disgrade who we are. So what is it? What are the underlying issues that we have within ourselves that we have not resolved, that we allow people to come in our life and mishandle us? What are some things in our childhood that you can think of that you didn't get over, whether it was rejection, whether it was abandonment, whether it was molestation? What was it that allowed this pattern where you continue to allow people in your life that you think is okay for them to mishandle you? What are those underlying issues that has not been resolved, that you have put under the rug, that you have put out of your mind, that you don't even want to think of? Those things that still traumatize you, those things that you don't even want to bring up or discuss, the things that you don't want to bring to the table. What are those issues that you need to resolve, that so you will know your self-worth, that you will be a better person on how to engage in relationships, that you know how to be able to manage your emotions? So what are those things? Think of some of those things now as you're listening to me. Think of some of those things that you know that has reflected your relationships with others, where you're not able to properly have relationships, and where you just really think it's okay that you allow people to devalue you. Think of some of those things, because you're worthy. When you value something, there's a proper way that you take care of that thing. There's a certain way that you even nurture that thing. You invest in it. When you value something, there's sacrifices that you make when you value something or someone. There's a certain kind of way that you handle them, because you know how you want to be handled. So there's a certain way that you move when you value something. With a diamond, there's a certain way that diamond has to be taken care of, so that it doesn't get dull, that the shine, that it still shines, that there's even proper measures that they take to even protect those diamonds that you see that are on display. So what are the proper measures that you're taking to protect your self-worth? What are the proper measures that you're taking to protect your heart? What are the proper measures that you're taking to protect your mind? What are those procedures? What does that look like of your protecting who you are and protecting what God has put on the inside of you? What does those procedures look like? How will you implement those procedures? How will you implement those things? How will you carry out those proper procedures of protecting your heart, protecting your mind, protecting your peace, that you don't allow someone to come in and devalue your self-worth? What does that look like? What does the process look like of protecting your self-worth and knowing your value? Because see, when you know that you have value, you move different. You think different. You speak different. See, when a person knows what they carry, they can tag a price to that because it has value. You know it has value. You know the revelation that you have is value. You know what you speak has value. So you can add a price tag to that when you know that it has value. So if you don't know what you're carrying has value, if you don't know that your heart has value, your peace, your mind, then how are you able to expect others to come in and value it when you don't know that it has value? So we first have to know that we are valuable. We have to know that in order for someone to come into my life and to have access to those parts of me, then I have to know that there is value, that I can't allow any and everybody to have access to me, because these are valuable places in my life and I am valuable. So I am even cautious on who I'll allow to have access to me. Because see, I can't allow you to come in and bring dullness to my shine. So we have to know that we are valuable. Ladies, you have to know your worth and that you don't have to accept any and everything. You don't have to accept it. Your body is valuable. Your body, you can't allow people to have 24 access to your body when it has value. That the Holy Ghost, it resides in you. So you can't allow illegal access to your temple, to your wound. You can't allow unnecessary traffic in your wound when that belongs to God until you're married. What has deposit? Who have you allowed to deposit in you that is illegal, that has deposit foreign things in your wound, that has left you discombobulated, that has left your soul broken, that has allowed your emotions to be all over the place, where that you're carrying the man that was illegal to deposit in you, that he has left in fractures and portions of himself where he's not healed, where generational curses that still plagues his bloodline, that you have allowed those things to be deposited in your womb, where you keep allowing traffic, that now you're not only dealing with your issues and places that you haven't been healed in, now you're carrying those things in his bloodline, things that he hasn't got healed from. So now it's really two of you that you're trying to carry in your womb, and you're wondering why you can't focus. You're wondering why you have things that you're dealing with in your mind. And it's because you've allowed illegal men that is not your husband to come deposit in your womb. So at what point do we find out the value that we carry, where we don't allow people to come and desecrate what God has deemed valuable, where we don't allow unnecessary traffic in our womb that we're protecting, because your womb, it has to produce. So if you keep allowing unnecessary traffic in your womb, then what will you really produce? What will you really give birth to? Will what you give birth to be stale? Will what you give birth to have multiple personalities? What will you give birth to if you keep allowing illegal traffic in your womb? Think about what you're really producing. What are you really producing if you have allowed things to come in and deposit in you different spirits? What are you really giving birth to? Are you giving birth to curses? Are you giving birth to something that will destroy your destiny, that will try to come and destroy your seeds? What are you really giving birth to? Are you giving birth to something demonic? Do you really know what you're giving birth to? If you have allowed so many things to come in and deposit in you because you don't know that you have value, that you don't allow any and everything to touch you, that you don't allow any and everything to come in and speak in your spirit, because you know that you carry value and that you have taken the proper measures to protect what you're carrying, because you have value. You're valuable within itself. So, do we really value ourselves when we keep forgiving? We're supposed to forgive, but that doesn't mean that I have to allow you to come back and take that same position that you had in my life before. No, there's a different category that I put you in after I've forgiven you, because I know that I have value. And so I don't have to allow you to keep coming in and causing friction in my life. I don't have to keep allowing you to come in and try to displace me. I don't have to allow that, because I know the proper position that God has placed me in. So I don't have to keep allowing you trying to come in and say that I'm not who I am, that I'm not who God has called me to be, and that I don't have value. I don't care